This talisman there might have been taken down quite brutally, quite blatantly.
On behalf of President Joseph Blatter, I would like to thank you for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to explain you about our story on the sport. First of all, I want to thank the authorities for inviting me and giving us the chance and already supporting the sport in the Barefoot Festival. We feel proud, and after my visit I feel committed that we can make a very nice story here in Goa. And to Sunil I would like to say that Bollywood fits in this world, so you are more than welcome. Let me explain you where we come from, because in fact when I hear all the things I heard today here, all of them are correct. But football hasn't developed in 10 days. Some people think that grassroots is the main thing, the other is the facilities, the other is this and that. I like the Greek coach saying playing, people, kids, people play. That's the game is so good that it will develop by itself. Whatever we do, because of television, because of the success worldwide, is going to develop everywhere in the world. India is not going to be an exception. But what we found is a different thing. Beach soccer didn't exist. This is my office. Okay, if you want to join, this is my office. This is where I work. But in fact, this is what we found. This is what we found. We found if you brought the ball into the beach, you just throw it. UEFA's president Michel Platini says that the most natural football version is the beach, because you throw a ball and you wait for 10 minutes and the kids will come and they will start shooting the ball and the game starts by a natural thing. But somebody has to set it up. Somebody has to do something with the game. And this is what we find, the kids, they were playing and there were games, but surprisingly, we had to do something. What was our goal? When you want to score, you have to place the ball, you have to concentrate and say, what is my objective? What am I going to do? Well, how do we go from here? So you have to analyze what you have. In all times, Brazil was playing on the beach. When I first met Pelé, said, somebody told me that you create the sport. And I said, no, well, we set the rules. He said, no, you didn't create, because when I was a kid, I was playing beach soccer. So it was long ago. And if you look at Brazil, from the list of players of the national team, in every single team in the last 20 years, most of the players, they come from the beach. Ronaldinho, Rivaldo, Romario, all these huge, amazing players that we see with amazing skills, they learn on the beach. So there is a similarity, there is a connection. We always say we are the added value, the smallest added value to football. So this is what we found. People in Brazil playing, in this case you see the picture, they were playing 11 aside. Almost football size, 11 aside, this is how they were playing. But we thought the beaches in the world, they don't fit in 11 aside. We need to do a different version of the game. So we went to a new era. We said we need to create rules. For example, we painted the goalpost in fluor yellow. And somebody said, it looks a little bit. But nowadays, in the world, when you go to a beach and you see a goalpost in blue, in yellow, you know it's beach soccer. It's every tournament in the world, every field that is set up in the world is this yellow color on the goalpost. And we set the rules, the size of format of the field was thought thinking on television. When we found that some people say, for sure you count on how much the players they might get tired. it's the nicest version, but it's not true. We were thinking on television. We thought about the game thinking on television. And this is why we play 3 periods of 12 minutes. Because total, we met with not a Bollywood, we met with a Hollywood producer. And we said, what do you suggest? He said, make sure your product is 1 hour, 50 minutes. Because all Hollywood series are 50 minutes. If you fit in 50 minutes, one day they don't have the series, they can place your product. And they know how they place it in the programming, it's going to be easier. So we decided, and he said, make 3 stops, make sure that you have enough commercial space, like a series. You make a Hollywood series. And that's how we fit the sport, that's how we set it up. When we talk about this with television, they say, wow, this is massive, because it's easy to place on television. Let me say, I was mentioning before to some friends, last year in Brazil and Russia, we beat Formula 1 Grand Prix on television audience twice. It's a very, again, we are very small and tiny sport, but we are proud to beat Formula 1. So we started setting up in '94 a world championship. And it was from nothing, because in truth, a world championship was not worth it. There were 10 different markets in the world playing the sport. But we wanted to showcase something big. We said, if we don't have a world championships, and we didn't use World Cup because FIFA was not involved at the time, and World Cup term is trademarked by FIFA. We created the World Championships, and there were only 10 teams participating. So we evaluate from this. This is in Portugal, where we had massive success in '94. This is in '96, we started tours around the world. This is the first Spanish team with some very important players in football. All the players in this team that you see, except one, they were football players, former football players. We go from Sarabia, Abel Alonso, Abel Resino, Abel, Quique Setién, you see on the left, Butragueño, Juan Carlos, Julio Salinas. They were all old players, but what we had for former players were people who were not fit, people who had good skills, great skills, but after leaving football, some of them, they didn't have the perfect fit. So we changed our philosophy, and we said, we need to make one more step. And we had, with Eric Cantona, who played with us, we created a new structure. Eric was a player, and he became a coach, saying, I cannot play anymore. I will be a coach. But we need youngsters. We need young people to play and to develop the skills. This is another example of the first time in '98 that we developed an European event. And this is the first indoor event in Russia. This is the first FIFA event. In 2005, we made an agreement to create a common company, first time, a private entity, making a company 50-50% FIFA and ourselves. This company called FIFA Beach Soccer, that I have the honor to be the CEO, is the company that runs the sport at FIFA. And we built the FIFA World Cup for FIFA. And this is the first event in Copacabana, in Rio de Janeiro, with 10,000 seats stadium. It's full all day. We have people queuing outside, and it works phenomenal. This is another event. First time the World Cup went out of Brazil. It was in Marseille. Then in 2009 we went to Dubai. This is in 2011 in Ravenna in Italy. And this is the first time in 2011 we did the first club competition. Because since 2011 the competition has always been with just with nations. But we need clubs. Part of the passion of the sport goes to national pride of course, the Indian national team will be the pride to all Indians to perform well. But the other passion goes to the clubs. I live in Barcelona. I have the honor to be member of FC Barcelona. And on Tuesday, because of a problem with my visa, I couldn't leave on Tuesday. I left on Wednesday. I went to see the Barcelona-Milan match. Amazing match. And when I land here, a friend of mine sent me a message that said, "The Pope is Argentinian." And I replied, "Yes, it's called Messi." and he said, no, it's Francisco. I said, okay. I thought it was after the game yesterday, I thought it was Messi. But the clubs, they bring a lot of passion. Once people get endorsed with the shirt of a club, and they have the pride of the club, and they join the club, they follow the club, in mature markets in football, more than the nations. So in future, I'm sure, the clubs here will develop and develop and develop,